Alright then everybody, my name is OTHMARIUS and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another live stream, another card magic live stream jam session. We are going to practice some fine card magic here today together, guys. And I'm super hyped and I'm super proud of myself because I made it pretty much in time. I had a super busy day and I'm showing or displaying some extreme time management skills here on my side, on my behalf. That wasn't always the case. I used to be a very chaotic dude, completely unorganized, missing appointments on a regular basis. But that old me is long gone. I disqualified it, I killed it, and now I'm able to have a busy day and then, you know, do a fun thing at the end of the day. Isn't that great? You might not know it, guys, but for the longest time, or for quite a long time on my channel, I would not show my face. And then I thought maybe I can grow my channel faster if I show my beautiful face. And I don't know if that really worked because usually the thumbnails on my videos where I show my face are not are clicked as often as the thumbnails where I don't show my face, only my hands and a beautiful deck of cards, you know. So that's that. And by the way, or maybe you made similar experiences when you watch a YouTube channel. You know, you get into a YouTube channel, you find a nice YouTube channel, and it might be a YouTube channel with a dude not showing the face, you know, only the hands or whatever. And then you get into this channel and you watch a couple of videos and something, and of course you start imagine the face to the voice, right? And then, for whatever reason, the content creator, that's what we call ourselves here on YouTube, they show their face. And then it's always like, oh man, I imagined a completely different face to that voice. That ever happened to you? So what do you say? What do you say? Does this face fits to the voice? Yeah, is this face a face you would imagine to this voice? I mean, let me know in the chat. Trinity, hi, how are you doing? Frederick Baruch, hi, welcome to the show. And Diego de la Vega, hi, love, have a good Saturday. Thank you so much. Had a great day so far. Was out all day, again on the market, selling some artworks of my girlfriend. But I have not been practicing all day, so I'm super excited about it. You might be wondering, I'm wearing these glasses. These are my invisible protection glasses to filter all the negativity and bullshit in the world. Yeah, and if I take those off here, you can see this thing here in my forehead. You see that? It's because I literally spent the week with that face. Like that. Because we had, a couple of days ago, Nazis marching on the streets of an eastern German city, Chemnitz. Neo-Nazis marching there, and they were completely losing their shit, you know, hunting people, attacking people, chanting unbelievable hatred and promoting hatred, and the police wouldn't do anything. So really, there weren't even enough cops to get 1,000 neo-Nazis under control, and this pissed me off. This pissed me off so badly. So I was in this mood, and also it made me kind of speechless for a couple of days. Really, I didn't really know what to say to this impossible thing. That should not be happening right now, you know, ever again. Because as you know, I'm streaming. I'm doing this from Berlin, from Germany, the capital of Germany, city of Berlin. And as you might recall, this country had something going on with them so-called Nazis some time ago. And yeah, this is extremely frustrating to be part of an era in history where these cocksuckers, these fucking garbage human beings are just, you know, feeling entitled to walk the streets again, you know. So I had a really terrible week in that behalf. So I decided to wear my protection glass, my invisible protection glasses, you know, to filter the bullshit. And by the way, this is a Google product. and it shows the chat, you know, here in the glasses, so I can keep eye contact with you guys, you know, while talking to you. I wish that was a technology available. Trinity is done fine. How am I doing? I just told you that. Do you get any good playing cards in Germany? Well, there are some magic shops, and they have some nice cards, yeah. But probably it's not so easy to get good cards like in the States, you know. So the last package I ordered, last box of cards I ordered, I bought in the States, you know. And then you have to pay a customs fee when you get them eventually, I realized. Alrighty, right, guys. Last session, last live stream was pretty productive. I really got into practicing doing this. And by the way, in the info cards, there we go, up in the info cards, I've got a link there. I got something linked there. Let me check this out. What I got here? I got a poll here asking you why are you interested in magic, with some options to answer. And then of course there is the playlist with all the previous live streams. And then I linked a pretty nice video I did a couple of months ago, the blank fan card trick embedded into a tutorial series, into a card trick tutorial series. And then in case you missed that out, there is right now a deck giveaway ongoing on my channel, and also you find the link to this video in the info cards. Playing card giveaway with amazing long distance teleportation card trick, Jabrizi style, that is. So if you missed that, guys, go there and have fun watching after this, of course. So let's get started with the practice session. Get a deck of cards out, and then we get going immediately. Let me hit you with the trailer, and then that's that. OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe. Alrighty, right. That was the trailer. Let's go into this position here. Yeah, that's very nice. Alright. So, we did talk about practice, different types of practice last session, and it was really, really cool, really getting into a really nice jam. You know, today's topic is precisely very unprecise. Do your thing is the topic, right? Because my mommy taught me a lesson when I was a kid, and she was saying, always be yourself. Do not compromise. Don't sell your soul. Don't try to please them. Whatever you do, whatever comes up in life, be yourself. And it's a really, really valuable lesson my mother taught me, and I'm extremely thankful for this. And I always try to keep that path, you know, staying myself, being comfortable with myself, expressing myself, and trying not to compromise too much with whatever, you know, society throws at me. And of course, this is a very, very wide topic. This is kind of, you know, fitting into many aspects of life, of your professional life, of your private life, of your love life, of your hobbies, whatever it is, you know, whatever you're up to in your life right now. Starting a family, in the middle of a family, you know, being in school, looking for a job, whatever it is, you know, trying to become a professional magician. And this came into my thoughts because I was analyzing my YouTube channel once again. And I'm telling you, I'm having a great time on YouTube. I really love uploading videos. I really love shooting them, and I really love doing this live sessions with you guys, interacting with you guys. YouTube is such a great platform with all the, you know, cons that come with it, with all the troubles it might give us. But nonetheless, I'm really enjoying this, though I have not been 100% satisfied with the growth of my channel. The growth rate is pretty slow, and I don't really know what it is. And I have an idea, of course, and I have some thoughts about, you know, improving this. However, I'm pretty quickly getting always into a conflict with myself, like saying, okay, there are things that I could do to get more views on YouTube, kind of feeding into the algorithm, you know, and there are all these YouTube experts out there giving you tons of tips, sharing insights of the back end of YouTube, how the algorithm works and stuff. And there are some, how you say, best routines you can do, but it's always kind of that quantity seems to be more important for at least the last couple of years, last 2 years, than quality. So kind of the algorithm forces content creators to upload on a pretty high frequency, and I'm talking at least 3 videos or 3 uploads a week, which is kind of impossible for delivering a certain quality and staying creative in the process, if you know what I mean. So you will find a lot of YouTube channels that kind of figured out something that worked for them, and then they keep reproducing it. So you end up with channels that are actually uploading the same type of video all over again with the same thumbnail, and because they maximize their workflow in that manner, in that behalf, they can upload as crazy as it's needed, and thus their channels grow nicely. And I just don't want to do that, you know. I just don't want to, you know, just find one thing that's working and then just keep repeating it, because for me it's extremely important to be creative with whatever I do. And by being creative, I mean exploring new territories, trying out new things, and setting ideas or impressions or thoughts into emotion. And of course that takes time, more time than just reproducing the same video all over again. And of course this comes with a risk, you know, of alienating habits you guys might how you say come up with watching my channel, because we all know we all have our viewing habits, and also the algorithm or the platform YouTube analyzes this, Google analyzes this, and then feeds us with content that, you know, engage with our habits in order, of course, to make us watch longer and more, right? So here I was thinking, how do I deal with this in the future? And at the end of the session, I kind of realized, you know, it's again the same question, you know. Just do your thing, you know, do what you feel is right and what you actually want to do, and then hope for the best. And that's the whole take, that's the whole story for today, basically. Nonetheless, I also try, of course, now to adapt this to the very thing we are all engaging here with, and that is magic. Learning magic, practicing magic, becoming a magician, trying to get some routines down, learning new slides, and whatever it is you're up to right now. So let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. Luke says you deserve way more subs. Yeah, I think so too. And I'm getting there, you know. As a matter of fact, on Social Blade, like half year ago, they would say I reached 10,000 subscribers in 5 years. Now the prognoses are much better. Now I'm reaching 10,000 subscribers in about 1 year, and 100,000 in 5 years. So. Basically, the says, or the statistics tells me that if I keep on doing what I'm doing, I should be okay, you know, for what it is, you know. And also, I'm not the type of guy who's here focusing merely or in a main way, with the main focus on numbers. You know, it's really important for me that there's a personal interaction, and that the things we do, the passion we all share, magic, it doesn't become something superstitious and something, you know, just for the sake of it, just for getting subscribers or something. For example, that's why I never went for a format like going card trick after card trick after card trick after card trick. This is what most channels do, and then everybody finds this niche with the special keywords, with the special targeted keywords, and then doing pretty well after a certain amount of time. I just don't want to do that. I really want to do the next video that I feel is the thing I want to do. I want to shoot, yeah? So break your table cut down in stages, please. Trinity asked, what table cut exactly? I'm gonna show you this there. No, this is not the right one. So I'm using this table cut here most of the time. This is a basically a double undercut. Then this is a very nice, beautiful version here also. And of course, I'm really excited always about the up to the ladder, you know. These are not magician's foolers, because if you once saw them and know the secret, they're very easy to recognize, but they display a beautiful handling of the cards. They're exciting for laymen, and for laymen they completely do the job. So there's a tutorial series coming up covering these within a playlist of basics of table work, because since I got started here on this channel, I would not do table work. Everything is basically stand-up material, you know, so far. But this is going to change, and I'm probably going to shoot this tutorial series pretty much in this setup here. Try to keep this natural and this interactive atmosphere up and running. So this is coming up. Make sure to hit the notification bell not to miss when this actually airs. Luke, you can make your channel name simpler and easier to remember so people can find your channel back. Well, I will not change my channel name, dude. Okay, it's OTHMARIUS. Maybe I just make to cut off the magic at a certain point when I don't know, will do other formats. But for now, you know, that's the whole point of it. What I just said, you know. And it's not really about the people don't search for a name. Actually, they search for really specific keywords if they are looking to learn something, or they get the video suggested, you know, by reference, because the algorithm thinks that's the next great video. So if you're watching on the desktop right now, to the right there should be suggestions, and you probably will find there something like Chris Ramsey, Brian, how do you say, Scam School, like big magic channels, because watching this video, YouTube realizes, oh, these people are interested in magic, and here are the best performing channels related to this video. There you go. That's what you get fat with, you know? That's how it works. Quality is way better than quantity, Trinity writes. Yes, of course, I think so too, but not in terms of the algorithm, not in terms of viewing habits of the most people. So you need to really upload on a very high upload frequency to get anything really rolling here in terms of exponential growth. That's just how it is, you know. It gotta be new. It gotta be new. However, there's also an option, and that's a search. When people search for certain videos. By the way, for example, my most successful video on YouTube is is on the coin roll, tutorial on the coin roll, which is quite ironic because pretty much all my other videos are related to card magic in one or another way. And here I go with a most successful video on the coin roll. But you know, this makes sense because this coin roll is a thing people who are not necessarily interested in magic are looking for also, because this is a skill that's pretty cool. And then there are people on a party or whatever, and then at a bar or wherever in school, and somebody shows this thing, and then next day they go to YouTube and they type in rolling coins over the knuckles of your fingers, and then the way it looks like, this video of mine should be among the top 5 videos. Pretty much, I'm sure that Assad's tutorial from 52 cards is pretty much on the top there. This is a highly searched key. This is a highly searched or highly requested video. So Trini said, I like Up the Ladder one. Yeah, Up the Ladder one is a very, very beautiful, very beautiful false card. But it's not that easy. And from this angle, you pretty much see what's happening here. So pulling off a bottom package, bringing it to the top, catching a break with the thumb, bringing the bottom package out here again, so the bottom package goes back to the bottom. Now you throw up the next portion here, having it out-jogged a little bit, and you keep on repeating this motion now. So now you pull up here a package from the downside, you place it parallel to the lower portion, pull this out, do this again, yeah, something like this. And this, of course, if you think about it, keeps the whole deck intact, and from the right angle with performance speed, now I just fucked it up. Right angle from performance speed. I know this is a really bad angle. This will probably not be working. I'm still working on this. This is it's a pretty neat thing. And even if you're flashing here, the sides for layman, they don't recognize this. Something that's performed a little faster, but of course not too fast. Looks beautiful and creates a very strong impression of the cards, fairly mixed, and then you can do your magic, you know. But it takes some time of practice, and I'm really not. I don't have this down 100%. By 100%, I mean like that I can do this 99 times out of 100 with not really focusing on it, you know. Okay, Luke, you gotta go. Thanks for tuning in. You can watch this anytime later because it's gonna stay there as an upload, right? Thanks you so much for your compliments. Have a great one. Yeah, see what I did here? I like Up to the Ladder. I tried, no, I'm not asking bigger YouTube for shoutouts in that way, but collaborations with bigger YouTubes are a very, very great strategy to grow a YouTube channel, or getting a shout out once in a while from a little bit bigger YouTubers. It also helps, you know, on the way. And as a matter of fact, and this was a very positive YouTube experience, there's a German magician with a pretty a big magic channel, I don't know, 75,000 subscribers or something, and he just happened to find my content, and he started commenting on my videos because he liked the way I shoot my tutorials. So we started chatting, and then very naturally he offered me to give me a shout out, and I was super hyped about it. So he did that, and this brought 250 new subscribers to my channel in a period of 48 hours approximately. So I was with 500 subscribers, and you know, growing very, very slowly at that stage, and basically 2 days later you have 250 subscribers more, and that felt really super amazing. That was totally cool. And yeah, Mo Jones is a super nice guy. His channel is called Mo Jones TV, and he has got some really, really great tutorials and videos, magic videos. I don't know if he's got any subs for his videos, but give it a try. Even if you don't speak German, if you know a little bit of magic, of course you can follow, you know. So, practicing magic on a Saturday night, for me that is, at least. And this sequence I'm practicing here right now, this is going to be the starting, this is going to be a sequence I want to perform for the tutorial series pilot of the tutorial series on the basics of table work. And right now I'm in this practice phase where I'm, as you can see, try to freely talk, follow my thought process, improvising speech, and at the same time walking through the routine, which is the hardest part, you know. A little bit of dealing. I hope the quality is good, sound is good, my voice sounds clear and nice, and also the video quality is okay. I'm streaming on a relatively low bit rate because I'm still streaming wireless, and I just can't up the bit rate without crashing. Luckily we haven't crashed today so far. Right now 6 people viewing, currently 6 people viewing. Welcome everybody so much, thank you for tuning in. What is it you guys are practicing right now? I'd love to know, I'd love to know. So, in the last practice session, I said something I want to say again because it's freaking important, and it's the following. It really helps to stay motivated. Oh fuck, the camera went off. It really helps to stay motivated. No, what am I doing? If you know what you are practicing for, and there's one trap you can fall into in the field of magic, because it's such a wide field and there's so much stuff coming at you that you just easily lose your track, lose your way, you know. So first of all, don't do too much, okay? Don't practice too many things at the same time, and always have a vision for the things you're practicing. There's absolutely no point in practicing the past like crazy just as an end in itself, you know, just to be able to do the past. Know how you want to use the past, and this really helps and keeps you motivated. So the things I'm practicing here right now are all going into this one video, into this series pilot. And this is this routine I come up with, and by routine I mean like the flow of motions of my hands, and also things that I want to say to make an interesting video, something that when people click it and watch it, they will go, wow, there's a nice tutorial series coming up, and I don't want to miss it. So I hit subscribe and notification bell, you know. So this is my motivation, and this really helps. This really keeps me fresh in my head, especially when you reach these phases in practice, and they will always be there. These phases, when you start getting frustrated about yourself, because you've been doing this very, very long now. You've been practicing already for a very long time, and you still can't do it proper, you know. And this is the phase where you easily drop out. You know, it's this last 5%, last 3%. These are the most difficult. This is the longest phase, and it really helps, at least from my experience, to get through these 3% to the end of the practice. If you know why you're doing this actually. And you know, when I think about it, this sounds pretty logical, pretty standard, right? But from my own experience, I dropped out, or I found myself practicing way too many things, and very often not really finishing what I started, already moving forward to the next one. Why the heck would I do that? Well, it's kind of a waste of time, you know. I don't want to waste my time like that anymore. So be very selective, you know, and the best thing you can do is create a long-term vision, you know, to really study the art by reading books, by learning a lot of tricks, not in the sense of learning to perform them, but to understand the basic structures of tricks, which will really help you make a decision what techniques you want to embed into your repertoire, you know. I believe it's a secret of successful performers. They usually have a pretty small repertoire of slides they mastered like no one else, like 3 to 5 slides, and they just know how to use them wisely. They just use them so cleverly that they can create all the effects with them. Yeah. And there's something to distinguish in magic: the slide, the technique, and the actual effect, you know. So you can create the effect of the ambitious card in various ways, you know. So you just need 1 or 2 techniques to learn in order to master this effect. Isn't it great if you are learning a technique to master this effect, but you can also use the same technique for creating several other effects? So much more efficient, right? And practical. It's a very simple rule of magic. Keep it as simple as possible for yourself, and also keep it very simple for your audience. By the way, I'm working here with a super worn-out deck of cards. It's very, very old. Maybe you can see this. Look at this. How dirty this is. No, this is not sharp. It's really dirty. It's really dirty. It's really old deck. So let's go to a new deck. One of my little collection, and I just cracked this open. An Aristocats. Yeah. The blue one. Oh, this feels so different. So much easier to spread. Wonderful. You see this? By the way, this is a tip for table work. If I put them down here, they're not brand new, but they have this tendency, you know, to fall. Yeah, it's something like this. That was a nice one. So you have a relatively new deck of cards. You put them on the table and they go. You know. Here's some easy trick to avoid this. Simply put pressure onto the cards with your index finger when you do it. Boom, and there's no problem. You even can have a drive to this direction, and it stays intact. Just a very simple tip. Okay, Colin Gorskamp writes, quality is great, no problems here. Awesome, great. Thanks for tuning in. Colin, how are you doing? So Trinity writes, I'm still working on doing the perfect Pharaoh 100% all the time. Yeah, that's a nice job. Why would you want to do that? For the tricks that actually require a perfect Pharaoh, for the most beautiful effects, at least I know of, you just need to get the first top section really perfect. Of course, unless you want to go through the 6 or 7 times rotation perfect Pharaoh to bring the deck back into order. Yeah. Here's the fanciest way to catch a key card, to get a key card, right? There I have my key card, glimpse. Then I have a spectator, select the card out of the deck. I close the fan. I can even glimpse at the bottom card once again if I missed it. And I give it a little card, right? And just another card like this. And then I say, please put the card back in there. And then I got it. And that's the most difficult, most complex way of getting a key card in position. And that's quite the opposite of what I just said, you know. You can get a key card next to your target card. So much easier. But I want to do it with the perfect Pharaoh shuffle. Colin is doing great. That's amazing. Where are you watching from, Colin? Safa Shaik, dope trick, man. Yeah, it was not so much a trick. It was just a little little routine of these shuffles, you know. By the way, I've got a tutorial series up and running on these on the 3 boldest false cards, I call them, you know. It's this one here, this one, then it's this one, which is super easy. It's very nice, very effective, and you can play it on a really wide range. If you're standing and there's a lot of people, you can really cut the cards, you know. And then, of course, there's the false triple swing card. This is beautiful. It's a very powerful false card. Love this very much. And then there's this variation. It's really cool. Yeah, sometimes the spectator will get bored with too many fancy moves. Yeah, this is a mistake. You should avoid, you know, just to show off too much skills. And it's written pretty much at the beginning of the Royal Road to Card Magic, I believe, you know. I really fancy a minimalistic style, you know. Do as little with the cards as possible. Focus on your audience and have the trick or the routine as simple as possible. Create a strong effect that engages the audience. You know, it sounds very simple saying this, but it's actually really, really hard to do. Safa Shaik asked me, can you please go over the Classic Pass? I'm pretty advanced in card magic. Been doing Classic Pass for 3 years, but really need help with Classic Pass. Well, I have a tutorial series on the Classic Pass. You find this pretty much on my channel page, tutorial series on the Classic Pass. For me, the most important thing about the pass is to really get a clean starting position with the index getting involved. There's a lot of folks doing this with the index at the front, and this is insane. Have the index at least here at the corner when you pull all the cards away. This will make it so much cleaner and more fluent after a while of practice, of course. And don't get nuts over the pass. And by the way, I had a complete practice session talking on the pass. Also, you will find this in the link here, open in the info cards. The playlist for the previous practice sessions, and there you find the whole session on the pass, pretty much saying everything I had to say about this move. You know, don't go crazy with the pass. It is not meant to happen with the hands burning, with people looking at the cards. It's meant to be done in an offbeat with the spectators not looking at the hands for a split second, which you use to perform a very calm pass. Done. You're done. That's it. Trinity says, yes, you are. Wait a minute. Yes, you are right about the top of the deck being perfect for a sandwich routine by John Ben. Do you know this one? Sandwich routine by John Ben. Yeah, John Ben has a lot of. What are you talking about? He has a lot of stuff out there. My favorite by John Ben is Stranger's Gallery. This is just beautiful, and of course Twisted Sisters. These are both insane. This is so insane. It literally, Twisted Sisters literally had my father losing completely his shit. My father was sitting at a table and he was like, couldn't understand the world anymore. It's so powerful. See there? I just outed myself. I broke a rule of magic. Never perform for your family members and friends. Colin Gerskamp is watching from the Netherlands. Awesome. Greetings to the Netherlands, man. We're close neighbors. currently practicing my double lift. Also, I have a tutorial series on the double lift up and running on my channel. I highly recommend this for you. It goes from the best beginner double lift to the best working solution over a fancy double lift and the strike double lift. The only thing I'm sparing is the push over double lift because I don't wanna talk about it, you know, because that's what I use very often, and I just don't want anybody to know about it. That's how simple it is. Safar Shaikh is watching from South Africa. That is freaking awesome, man. How is it going in South Africa? What time is it there right now? I wonder. So I'm taking off this stupid class right now because they start pissing me off. Yeah. So now a beer. So let's check this out. We got 7 people viewing currently. A great stream ratio. We're doing this for about 40 minutes. Everything's all right. So do your thing. Do your thing. Guys, I need to do this now. I'm not going to show you this. I'm going into this motion here where you can't see anything because I'm going to smoke a cigarette, and I don't want to do this showing just a manner, but I need this right now. I had a really, really long day and I'm addicted. This is something that slowly kills me. What can you do? Are you guys practicing? Because practice is so important. Okay, it's why? So it's the same time. We're on the same time. Never knew this. Ah, yeah, but it's of course it's logical. Yeah, of course. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. So it's the same time in South Africa like it's in Germany. As a matter of fact, I will practice the package routine from John Bannon, Stranger's Gallery, right now, after having smoked my cigarette. And this is the next performance video I will upload on my channel, probably. And I'm really excited about it. But it still takes a little bit of practice because I really don't want to start shooting a video if I don't really have the moves down, because this is super annoying, because then you have to you know, press recording just way too often and you shoot so much material failing, and this is just a frustrating workflow. So I got to the habit of really getting my moves down and really get it down before I even try recording it, because it's really not so easy to shoot a nice performance, especially with something delicate like this, with the camera burning, because the human eye is much more forgiving than a camera on I don't know, 60 frames per second. This just kills you, you know, every little thing, every little flash, and you're done. Do you think it's better to try new magic to strangers or family and friends? I don't think so. I think the real challenge is always to go out and approach strangers, or to get into a performing situation for strangers. And just the other day, Matthew Foreman, I don't know if you know the guy, he's got a YouTube channel which is growing pretty neat lately. He moved up to 50,000+ subscribers in a pretty short period of time. And he's a professional magician, I believe, from New York. So he's really working, and he was performing for celebrities. And he just put up a video on how it is to be a professional magician. And he shared his formula with the world. And his formula is practice, 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 perform. Practice, 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 perform. Practice, 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 perform. Practice, 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 perform. Practice, practice, perform. Practice, perform, practice, perform, practice, perform, practice, perform. That's pretty much it. And doing so, you are building up a repertoire, you know. And you of course start with you follow the basic rules. Keep it simple for yourself, keep it simple for your audience, and building up a repertoire. So you start with really basic things, with really simple things, and usually as a beginner, and this is how everybody does it, you start with one or another trick. For some strangers, try to influence this by you know, having a deck of cards or your props or whatever it is when you go out, and if the situation is kind of right, you know, give it a try, because there are a lot of situations where you naturally can perform something for strangers, you know, like it may be on a party, may be in a bar, may be in a park or something, you know. Just give it a try. You're there, you're sitting with some friends, I don't know, it's summertime at the park, you're sitting there with some friends, and there's some nice people on the bench sitting there. You just, you know, take a deck of cards, go there and say, hey, I'm a magician and I just learned a new trick, would you like to see it? And people usually go like, hey, I should give it, shoot, and you do it. And at the beginning, or for a very long time at the beginning, it's terrifying, it's extremely terrifying, but it's getting better. And I'm telling you, after bumming a couple of times, you know, you keep on doing this, and the first performance does work well, with people being entertained, with people being stunned or fooled. You're gonna be so proud of yourself, and you will learn so much. It's unbelievable. Every time you perform, the learning curve, it's exponential. It goes like up through the roof, you know. And this is it basically. So, Trinity Red, John Ben does sandwich routine. He pharaohs 2 matching cards, jokers and faced up in the deck, and sandwiches 2 chosen card. It's a great trick. I don't know this particularly right now, but yeah, but John Ben's material is amazing. He's very clever, and he keeps all these rules, you know, intact. Everything is built up in his routines. Everything is logical, makes sense, and it's easy to follow for your audience. And what you do is you're always getting one step ahead, and there are many layers of deception in these routines. So this is really clever. So everybody who doesn't know John Bennett's work, you can get into this. This is amazing. Thank you, Diego de la Vega. Very good training advice. Chippy B says cheers, cheers, Chippy B. Welcome to the show. I'm just having a cigarette break here. Safar Sheikh says you don't want to go flashing all your slides to the same group of people. No, you don't want to do it to the same group of people, but eventually you're going to flash a lot at the beginning, at least, you know, because I'm telling you this of experience. This is it's nerve-wracking. Man, at my first attempts to perform for people, for strangers, man, my hands were shaking like crazy. And there are
OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe.
So that was the trailer again. Now this is a very new deck. Let's see if I can do this with the very new deck here. Let me go through this here for 1 second. I have this motion. Oh, this already feels so clumsy. With the brand new deck. If the package, when the cards are so slippery, so slidey, I don't like this now. I take a deck that's I'm working with right now. Diego de la Vega is watching from Argentina. We got Netherlands, we got South Africa, we got Argentina. This is it's crazy. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Like being able to be creative together, to be spontaneous, to share our passion, you know, to work together, creating something entertaining and beautiful for people. Oh man, I wish there wasn't so many people that just know hatred in life. I just started this video with this really sad story of an occurrence in my country. Nazis marching the streets, hunting people, and these people that just know hatred. Complete losers in life. Chippy Meach is watching from England. Wow, the whole world is here. That's so cool, guys. So, back to the card table. Where is this? Here. No, here. So let's go for the simple steps. Showing the bottom card. That's the first move, you know, in this routine. Showing the bottom card. And basically this is how you practice. We talked about this in a previous episode. You keep repeating the moves, erasing mistakes, and creating a muscle memory of the exact motions to the exact time to really get the feeling for what you want to do. In this case, pulling out the bottom card, right? Just like so. And as you can see, this is not, my hands are not relaxed right now. But this is, of course, it has been a long day, and now I've already been talking a lot, and it's really work for the brain actually to pull off these defined motions and to get them always right, you know. And that's why you need so much practice. And actually, and I thought this was very true, Matthew Foreman said this in the video I just talked about a couple of minutes ago, that you really can feel it if you have not been practicing for one day. And don't fool yourself. All these pros or all these successful or well-performing players in the game, they all do practice every day for at least 4 to 6 hours. David Stone actually once said, "Man, I'm practicing on a regular basis 16 hours." You know, so of course, to get somewhere, to perform some neat tricks, performing well, entertaining your audience, you don't have to do this. But if you want to go on a television show and you want to make a bottle of wine appear out of a balloon, you have to practice a lot, yeah. To have the confidence, to build up the confidence, and to have it, to be absolutely sure that you can do it, you know. And that's why I admire David Blaine so much, because he has been performing on television such bold moves. There is this effect where you have basically the spectator erasing the values, not the values, how you say, man, my English, the suits, erasing the suits, so you end up in a situation where the spectator had to choose one suit, and then you basically have the deck shrink in your hand with only the suits left in your hand. The spectator the choose, and then it's combined with a revelation or something. And if you know how this is done, this is a pretty bold thing to do. Not only from the technique, from the slides, but also from the angles and from your confidence in the belief that the illusion that you create actually works. And I don't know if it was on David Letterman or something, but Blaine pulled it off as if it was nothing to him. Like, the guy keeps impressing me with this much, even more than with, I don't know, spitting out a frog and then swallowing it again, you know. I mean, that's insane. I don't even have a clue how you get there. And this is also this aspect, easily getting out of focus, because we are sitting a lot of time or standing or walking, you know, practicing specific, very defined motions with our hands, you know, and easily you forget the perspective of the spectator, the onlooker's point of view, and the very aspect that the magic is actually happening in the perspective of the spectator. And as I said, to boil it down a little bit here again, because I might have scared one or another of you, when it comes to actually performing to people, the human eye is so much more forgiving than a camera, for example. And you will not believe, for example, talking about the double lift, when you perform this naturally, and if you are loose, and if you are mainly focused on your audience, you're getting away with the double flashing very often, you know, because it's more important the way the card falls, you know. If you see how the card falls like this, and if you try to duplicate this with a double, this needs to be the same. And if you do this with the right pace and loose, it really doesn't matter sometimes, or most of the time, if there's a little gap showing, or if there's a little, you know, a corner here, because the eye does not look at details like this, because there's so much more going on in this moment. From a spectator's point of view, the brain has so much to process, and the motion of the cards falling is so much stronger. And if this motion is done elegantly and with the right timing, this sells the illusion. And of course not with a camera, you know. So if I would do a trick requiring a double lift and I'm flashing a little bit, and you upload this on YouTube, and then you will have a comment section of people being angry with you. So, by the way, in the background we have some synthi wave music, some live stream going on, and I really don't know if this is copyright or not. It will show after this live stream is over, and then then YouTube will tell me if somebody else is going to monetize the video, or if it's going to be blocked worldwide. Oh boy. Everybody, you having a great time? 8 people currently watching. I hope you make this a quality time. Not only listening to the things I say, but also practicing whatever it is you're working on right now yourself, you know? And here goes the camera off. I hit you with the trailer, turning the camera on.
OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe.
There we go. So, and then the next thing in this sequence here, I'm practicing. This would be this one, showing that you only have one card, or the same card of the same value in your hands. And this is the most delicate part of this routine. It needs to be completely fluently. Wonderful, so wonderful. Yeah. And you see, for example, right now I've been stumbling, not actually at a slide, but on this basic thing to push the card over here, you know. I don't know, doesn't feel right, you know. And of course you don't want to have something like this, you know. And then, yeah, practice. By the way, I just got myself some new magic. I got Ninja Plus by Matthew Garrett, if you guys know this. This is a close-up linking rings with a finger ring. And I was totally excited getting this because, of course, I had a clue how it works. But I wasn't sure how difficult it was. I was expecting something extremely difficult. Now, it's not easy, but it's not that difficult. And it was one of these special times when you put the thing out of the box and having a hell of a time. Such a fun time, you know, doing it for the first time. Awesome. So cool. Okay, Trinity writes, John Band tricks called Dawn Patrol. He gets the chosen to appear between 2 queens face up in a deck by using the Pharaoh Shovel. It's an absolutely superb trick. Check it out. Thank you so much for the tip. Thank you so much for the tip. So we got the sandwich effect. Right? Cool. I'm gonna check this out. And here again, we're in this phase of of the practice routine where I get into practicing more, and my brain starts to process what's happening here. So I'm stumbling as I speak. There are no meaningful words popping up to my head because my brain is just like, you know, my CPU is like overheating. And by the way, guys, I started, or the first thing I did in my life as an artist was music, playing guitar. I have a beautiful Telecaster in my closet now, 69 built US Telecaster, and I also got a very, very beautiful classic guitar built by a German guitar builder, an incredible instrument. And but I was a youngling by the time, so I would practice, but I would not be so aware about what it means to practice and how important it is. And what happened to me as a guitar player was that I became pretty a pretty well blues rock guitar player. Let's say from 14 to 18, I practiced a lot every day. You know, basically, I didn't drop out of school, but I just would, you know, come home from school, and then I would I would just get the guitar, plug the guitar into the amp, and then I'd just play, you know, and only interrupted for eating by my mother. Come eating, son, and then, you know, having to go to bed. And then totally not going to school because I just want to play guitar. So I became a pretty decent player, but I then would stop practicing really, and I just would, you know, play in bands. And I was talking with another guitar player a couple of years ago who became a professional guitar player, playing jazz and swing music. Very, very firm, very, very virtuous player. We talked about this, and he said, yes, you basically missed this time where you say you should have really getting into practicing after this first success, and then really digging into it in order to really become outstanding in what you're doing. And it was so true, you know. I didn't do this. I was just satisfied with what I do. Everybody loved my style, and I played in bands, and everything was alright. And so I stopped practicing. And then, before you know it, you play the same stuff until you get bored with yourself, you know. And then you want to do something new, and then you realize, oh, I need to practice again. And then practice is just as annoying as it was, because you wouldn't keep on practicing. However, there are exceptions, like my brother, for example, who is a professional bass guitar player, and he's I don't know, he has never been practicing really. I guess he's a natural. I normally do a 2-card frustration count in the beginning of the routine to avoid the awkward second card push off. Well, whatever works, I would say. I'm pretty satisfied, not with this here right now, what's happening in my hands, but with the general development of what's happening here. This will not be a problem in a very short period of time, and it's okay. Also to go through these practice phases where it's basically annoying. Right now I have the situation. It's like, wow, what's happening with my hands? It's annoying. I know I can do this better, you know. But then you just keep on go through this, you know. Just keep on walking. Hey, Robert Vasquez, thanks for tuning in. That's awesome. How you doing, mate? We've been talking about practice basically for quite a while now, and also we did in a previous live stream. Man, you got, Robert Vasquez, you got some serious skills, you know, at your hands. Some of your videos are extremely impressive. How much did you practice? How much do you practice, or did you practice by the time to get these skills down like this? Be honest, you know. Don't tell me you did it in 2 days or something. Okay. And then we pick up this one, and then comes this beautiful move here. One of my favorites. And then the so-called frustration count, right? Just like that, and then the first color change. That's the routine. So, as you can see, what I'm doing right now, I'm working the separate pieces, and then the next step is to glue them together. Yeah. So Robert Vasquez is getting back into magic 4 hours a day. That's cool. That's cool, man. I just love your style, and also I love this this whole metal reference, you know, with this metal music, and then bang, bang, and you just nail the effect, and then fuck off. They're very nice. Made me laugh all the time. I don't know why it is in magic that there's so many to go on the cheesy road, you know. There's just I don't know, tendency of performers getting so cheesy with magic. I don't know why that is. Is this necessary? I don't know. Dude. And also there's this this thing that, from a spectator's point of view, the reference of a non-looker, because they usually do not know, or just a little bit, about sleight of hand and all these techniques, you know. And you really create the same amusement or a stunning moment, and create this moment of wonder and astonishment with the easy version of the thing. So you wouldn't need to go for a duck change if you can do a simpler color change, you know. For a layman's perspective, from a layman's perspective, pretty much the same thing. Do this to a layman and they're what? Trinity, will you do signed deck giveaway? Would love to have the chance of winning one. You are a famous dude. You're a famous dude. You know I'm not famous, man. But maybe I will be one day. By the way, guys, in the info cards up there of the video, here up there in the info cards, there, you know, if you go and click there, there's a poll. You can ask a stupid answer a stupid question. There's also a link to the previous series, previous live streams in this series, practicing cards together. There is also a link to a pretty awesome tutorial I did on the blank card fan trick with a pretty neat performance also. So if you missed that one, check it out. And there is also, and that's the last video link there, the last video in my series Summertime Fun at the Pool, where I did some tutorials at the pool at my holiday location. Because I went totally pawn, and I went with my girlfriend to a volcano island, and we rented a super fancy apartment with a pool, and we had a week or so completely exclusive luxury. It was insane. And in this video I will do a giveaway of these 3 decks. So you have to make a choice in the comments there whether you want to win the bicycle cube back, the lotus back playing card, or the whole poker size plastic coated. And if you win Trinity one of these decks, yeah, I will sign them for you, no problema, no problema. So Robert Vasquez writes, where can I see this better? Wait, there. Robert Vasquez writes in the down. Yeah, I perform to music, but I don't do the whole shin limb sex faces and magical hand gestures. I just do the effect with metal music playing, then after it's done, I snap my finger and cut the camera. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. That's what I remember, and that's what I like so much about it. Yeah, and this shin limb thing is like what is it, like, Meg, come on, the dude is really amazing, you know. He got his moves down. Yeah, he's really I don't have a stream Mac, by the way. I had to make a choice for my next purchase. By the way, I am very delicate with purchasing magic, and I said DreamHack is super high on my list, but I went for the Ninja Plus rings by Matthew Garrett, and it was a very nice purchase. These rings are this is so amazing, and for me, you know, being a card guy, doing mainly cards, having some other objects in the hands, and getting in touch with the new vibes, that's amazing, and it's so much fun to do. And the effect, it looks so sick. This is when you do this for the first time, like, get a feel for it, and you do it, and you see them. Oh man, this is amazing, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to go to my favorite bar, pull out these rings, and show the guys that thing. It's gonna be amazing. I love doing this. John O'Murray says, love this shit. Yeah, it's great shit, isn't it? So, and today the topic is do your thing, because my mommy told me once that it's very important to always be yourself, to be true to yourself, and this is also super important for magic. And the big challenge is to become to create a character, to create a persona that, you know, that's built out of the best that you can give to the world, you know. And this can be funny, this can be dramatic, this can be silent or loud, whatever, you know. And it's a very nice journey. Yeah, so again, saying this is a long way, and on the road to card magic, you know, it's a long journey, and keep that as a motivation, keep that as the main goal in perspective. You know, when you get frustrated over one or another thing, or bumming on a way, it's something very beautiful to create the magician, to find the magician in yourself. This is the most exciting thing, and I'm not all there myself, you know. But I know it's there, and this is the best thing about magic, in my opinion, to find who you are, to define who you are, who you want to be as a magician. That's just amazing. I need to get back into gaff magic, because gimmicks were my favorite things to create, Robert Vasquez writes. Well, you're making yourself the gaffs, and there is this type of there's different types of magicians or people interested in, and there are even own trick collectors. There are people that don't really care, or they don't really want to go on stage or become performers, but they really enjoy buying tricks, getting behind the secret, getting the knowledge, watching the DVDs, you know, and studying the props and the technology and the thought process behind it. You know, it's good for the industry, I wonder, you know. Trinity says, got to go, Matt. We'll tune again soon. Auf Wiedersehen. We'll check the ring trick out. Yes, it's super cool. O'Brien Magic, Trinity. O'Brien Magic has a performance video on YouTube, performing for two dudes at a table. And it's really lovely. You're gonna love it. Little shout out to O'Brien Magic, who basically remembered me of these rings. And after I saw the video, I said, "Now I gotta get them." Have a great evening. Thanks for tuning in, Trinity. Take care. See you around next time. Thank you so much, John O'Murray. I realized I got your message. Thank you so much for the flowers. So, and I'm still practicing here the Elmsley card. There's actually, you know, there's the first rule of magic, never to reveal a trick, and of course this is like all rules to be has different interpretations. But there's this artist, like a 60-plus-year-old painter, standing next to me at this market fair where I am at every weekend, and of course I'm there with my cards, and he's always excited. He always wants to see new tricks, and of course also he wants to learn a little bit. And today I showed him the Emsley count, and he was so excited. And when I taught it to him, when I showed him how it works, he said, "Man, this is so sick." He had such a great time learning this. Actually, it was a very, very beautiful moment, you know. But of course, don't spoil your audience, you know. You will not perform something and then tell them the secret. That is the most destructive thing you can do to your own reputation, to your own learning process, and of course also to the people you've been performing to. O'Brien Magic. What the name again? It's O'Brien Magic, and I cannot type this right. It's O'Brien. So, one more time, and then I'm done with this. Damn it! Back to my shuffles here. Okay, now I am getting annoyed about the music I have on my headphones. I will change the music now, and what I will select is the band of my brother, called Django Lassi. I have a playlist. Where are my playlists? Okay, no. So let's turn this music off for a moment, and let's put on some jazz. So where is the playlist? Come on, everybody. Music for live streams. There we go. Django Lassi. I'm going for another cigarette break here, guys, and I'm not going to show this because this is my problem, and I don't want you to get involved, right? But I don't want to. Why is there no music now? What the? Okay, let's do this from the start. There you go. Have fun listening to my brother's band for a while as I'm chatting a little bit here, rolling myself a cigarette. Keep on practicing, everybody. We got currently 9 viewers watching, and we're doing this for 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Hello, Pi Magia. P Magia. How are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. I'm just for a little break here, listening to the band my brother is playing in, called Django Lassi from Berlin, playing some awesome gypsy swing. Stay tuned before we keep on practicing cards together.
By the way, since I came very late to Magic, doing different things before that, I
pretty soon realized I had to make some tough decisions. I have to really decide which way I want to go down. So I decided on cards and close-up magic. And now I'm doing more coins. And now I got the rings. Bringing that into my close-up repertoire. Also working on a jumper coin routine. But I have a vision for a parlor or a stage set for real act. And I pretty much already know the tricks I want to take in, or the acts or the routines I want to take in. And it will take me a little time to get there. But this is my personal motivation right now. Of course, getting my skills down to become a better performer close-up for real-life situations, but also for producing nice performance videos for you guys here on YouTube. Of course, in order to inspire you. And the long perspective, the wider range for me, however, is to get a nice act together for a stage situation. And not to become a big shot or something, just to to have fun and to create something. And I don't know, maybe I start doing this next year, or maybe even in 2 years. But it's gonna happen at a certain point, and I'm really, really hyped and excited about it. Just wanted to share this with you right now. Okay, Trinity, find O'Brien Magic. Thanks for that, and let him know that I sent you. Because it's always fun, to get connected, and to keep track of the connections. And this video of O'Brien where he does the linking rings, if you've never seen this, if you don't know Ninja by Matthew Garrett, man, this is going to freaking blow your mind. It's really cool. It's super visual. So, and for everybody new tuning in, I don't know, I just wanted to let you know, there are the info cards, and there is a link to a video. It's the last link, next to some other links, where you can participate on a deck giveaway contest. I'm giving away one of these decks, and the rules of the contest are explained in this video. You have to make a choice in the comments whether you want the Cupid back, the Lotus back, and the poker size Hoyle Classic Code playing cards. I'm giving them a quick review in this video, also performing a funky long-distance teleportation magic trick, mixing a magic potion. So if you have missed that video, you will find it in the info cards last link. You need this. So guys, how are you doing? Are you practicing? What are you practicing right now? And isn't that beautiful music? That's pretty cool. I just found a way to smoke on a live stream without smoking. Giving a break, and I'm wondering, I was always afraid to do something like this, like with people dropping off, but I believe live streams are working in a different manner. And there's even people doing like kind of marathons, live streaming like for hours. I don't know. P. Magia does some cardistry moves. Yeah. I'm too old for that shit. But I love cardistry. It's really amazing. And I really don't get... I get this older magicians that are like, that's not magic. I mean, they have a point in the sense of that if we want to perform magic to people, you should be very minimalistic with the cards. but you know, for a whole generation, for a young generation, new generation of card magicians, this is their entry. You know, because it's cool doing these moves and learning them and learning new moves and stuff. And man, what a training, what a hand-eye coordination training, you know. Yeah, second deals. I'm practicing alternates, pushover second deals for quite a while now. It's really tough, but I'm getting somewhere. Okay, I turned the music down a little bit.
OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, I didn't want to show you the trailer right now, but it just happened. So, for the last round for me, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Ah, haha. And I'm telling you guys, especially shuffling cards is for me kind of a meditation. And I said it before, I say it again. I had a rough week. We had Nazis marching on the streets of Chemnitz in Eastern Germany. I don't know if you get that in your news in the country. And it's something that extremely pissed me off, you know. And especially with the history of the country, you know. So annoying. But shuffling cards always gets me back on track. Calms me down. Helps me to focus on what's important. It's almost kind of a therapy. So I'm not watching if I'm flashing or not, what I'm doing here. P-Magia has to go, no problem. No need to excuse. Thanks for tuning in. See you around next time. I'm doing this here on a regular basis, trying to keep this up once a week. Right now, Saturday nights or Sunday nights in Berlin, but I'm maybe going to throw in some spontaneous practice sessions to other times, you know. Because there's also a lot of magic going on in India, by the way. A lot of folks interested in magic in India, and probably this is not a time for them to watch. And maybe I'm doing something on a Wednesday in the morning, and seeing some folks from India tuning in. Yeah. And after this live stream, what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the new not episodes. Oh man, my English. I'm lacking the word. Season. The new season. Season 2 of Ozark. Such a great show. So excited about it. And I love this main character, the father of the family. I don't know what the character is. I don't even know how the actor, or the name of the actor. I have to look into this because I love this guy and I love the performance so much and I love the character so much because this character is so focused on the solution of the problems, and he's hardly distracted by emotions. And because there's something I'm lacking in my life, you know, I'm getting upset easily, and emotions. The first when I'm confronted, I'm having a hard time accepting reality sometimes, you know, because I'm a magician and I believe in magic. And whenever somebody tells me that there are no fairies, actually, I'm super pissed. And if something happens that I don't like, I'm getting upset very easily, and I really have to work with strategies, you know, to calm me down and to look rational at the situation, you know, and to focus on a solution instead of, you know, just being mad about it, you know. And I'm definitely not a person who believes it's a good thing to hide or to suppress emotions. I believe it's very important to be very honest about your emotions. But to get stuck with an emotion, to get stuck with an impression, it's not a good thing, you know. So when something comes up you don't like or you disagree with, and you get upset about it, you know, you can stay in the state of mind of being upset or sad, and this is not a state of mind to find a solution, and this is a state of mind to realize something's wrong, you know, and then you have to step away from the emotion and try to rationalize the situation and to find a solution, right? And this character is so firm. He's confronted with such crazy situations and with such I don't know, insane behavior, more or less, in the series, and he's always focused on a solution, and I love to watch this guy. And this is also why Mike from Breaking Bad was one of my favorite characters, you know. I always said to myself, be more like Mike, you know, because Mike don't fuck around, yeah. Safir Shag asks, do you enjoy hip-hop music? I do. I don't limit myself there. I enjoy very different styles of music, and really, it's a wide range. But I'm very, what do you say, anspruchsvoll. How is they say this in English? Now, I don't find this word now. I have to look it up. Okay, look this word up, anspruchsvoll in English. Demanding? Demanding, it says. Okay, now where am I here? Yeah, I'm very demanding. I like sophisticated stuff. So I'm selective, basically. Any style, but it has to deliver a certain quality. Otherwise, I don't care. You know? And there's a lot of stuff going on in the mainstream, where it's just like, oh my God. But I'm not a guy. I'm not like it has a certain standard to be good or something. I also like pop culture very much, you know. For example, there's this YouTube channel called A Bad Lip Reading, and they have a song out, Bushes of Love, and you know, it's a pretty cheesy thing. It's like pop culture at its best. It's more parody than anything else. But this tune just rocks me anytime I listen to it. So and you know, hip hop or rap, it's a wide range also, you know. French, Mexican hip hop, American hip hop. Oh boy. So now this is a song of Django Lassie, where they are telling the story that, or the singer is telling the story that he stole a wizard's cape which was, of course, a very stupid decision.
I don't know what it means. You coming in my dreams. You put my back against the wall, but you don't understand me at all.
Yeah, so I'm getting into practice here, shutting myself out from the outer world, stop speaking, into getting into meditation move. So we are about to reach the last, let's say, 10 or 15 minutes. Everybody prepare for a calm landing. Okay, Safar Shaikh writes, I asked because Eminem's music really helps me deal with anger and stuff like you. I get really angry about things. Of course, music is everything that channels emotions, you know. It helps you to deal with it, you know. Absolutely, yeah. I'm a very happy man because my girlfriend, she's into metal, and she was a metalhead in her teens. And when we're having a good time with a bottle of red wine, she always turns on her favorite metal bands, and she's coming from the Basque country, and so I happened to get into touch with Basque metal and hard rock music from the 80s, stuff I would have never discovered otherwise. But all of these things, these are learning processes, you know. There is no black or white or right or wrong. This is it's full of colors, and everybody has got to figure out their own way of handling, being alive, you know, living in this society or at this age, with a lot of crazy things going on, you know. All right, let's do some of these. There's also very little routine I came up with. I will open a tutorial with for this card production, which I love very much. So the idea is to show this, of course, from a very nice angle. 6 of diamonds. We're gonna give it a little riffle, and the 6 of diamonds come jumping to the top. Because I found out, since I was talking about YouTube and being a YouTuber and trying to get more views on YouTube, when I started this live stream, I found out that that people really like to get some kind of a teaser at the beginning, like to show a little trick at the beginning before I introduce myself and explain what's going to happen in the video. So I want to do this more often, which comes with a neat side effect of coming up with little performances, with little routines, and I call also practice routines, where you kind of put different elements together for a little effect. Here in this case, like an ambitious card, which you can use impromptu, basically anytime, and also makes practice a little more efficient and interesting, you know. King of clubs. Yeah, there you go. And the King of clubs. Very nice. So this is also a tutorial series coming up. I'm teasing this for a very long time now. I don't know when I will be able to shoot it, but this is on the menu for my favorite card productions. And I love this, the pop-out card production, very much. It's very beautiful, very magical. And laymen enjoy it very, very, very much. With the card, with the selection, maybe their sign selection, jumping out of the center of the pack, just like that, always pleases them. How old are you, if I may ask, Safar Shaikh? Now I remember something. How does that work? Yeah, here's the ace. I need the ace. So do you notice, guys, this move when you have an ace of spades and you place it onto the table, and then you just wave over the card for a second, and then it turns into the joker. Do you know this move? I love it so much. Beautiful. And then people ask, what happened to the ace? The ace. And then, of course, the ace comes jumping out of the center of the pack. Bang, there you go. Nice. Very nice little routine. 19 years old. That's a good age. Right there on the lane, becoming an adult. So one tip I can give you when you have an issue with getting upset easily, you know, work on strategies, you know, to keep it calm, Because most of the time, being angry is just an energy loss. Again, never suppress your emotions, but being angry all the time doesn't help. But sometimes it's just necessary, you know, to really understand, to really realize something's not right, something's not the way it's supposed to be. And then the next step, of course, to rationalize the situation and to find a solution, and then to act accordingly to the solution. So, let's try some of these for the evening. Yeah, no worries, man. It's not much of an advice. It's just obvious, you know. But sometimes it helps, you know, if if people just, you know, point out the obvious, you know, and saying, hey, get your shit straight, you know. I have my brother is a really calm dude and a very somebody who's very focused on diplomacy. He's also a game designer. Next to being his hobby is game design, and it's really amazing. His ability to when I'm in any way in a social conflict or it's something something pissed me off and I'm enraged and I'm mad and I talk with him about it, you know, and his ability to first of all give me the feeling of understanding what my problem is, and also agreeing on the emotion that this is upsetting, but then also being able to see the other side, the opponents or the opposite viewpoint, and trying to create a wider perspective. And that's like, I really envy the dude from it. It's nothing, you know. Whenever I'm upset stuff, he managed to say some things where he say, man, actually, yeah, man, actually there is more to it than there's something to work with here, actually, and this is so great. I'm very thankful to have this guy as my brother. Yeah, that does it though. Everything happens for a reason. I don't know. But of course, this is something that gives a comfort, you know, a thought like this, you know. So this is the push-offs I'm talking about, and there is pretty much nothing really to say. You just gotta practice this so very hard and so long. And of course, the way I'm doing it right now, there's no secret here, but I'm getting there. Yeah, the take. Yeah, the take right now is not. I'm not focusing so much on the take right now. I'm still just trying to get this pushing motion down. You know. Okay, Simon Lovell. Okay, I will get into this. Awesome. I mean, basically, this is also a matter of the right speed. You know, if you get this pushing the doubles over comfortably and you get the right speed, the motions blend over. But what I'm doing right now, of course, I'm lifting up here the card, and of course, pushing the second down. The falling motion of the top card is flashing completely. You know, so if I take this closer here, and I'm not making the gap so big, this immediately looks much better. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I'm going through this pain here right now. And a really cool thing about my channel right now, about the size of my channel, is that I basically can do this, and I know it's not going to be so many people watching anyways, and everybody who's is watching it anyways already kind of engaging in the channel and pretty knowing about magic. So your comments here right now are just proof of it. So this is the thing about all the magicians always like being worried about magic being revealed or destroyed via the social media. There is an aspect about it that's true, but I would argue this from a different angle. What magic is not really in danger because people are teaching or revealing tricks on magic. It's more the attitude that the condition that people get into, getting stuff for free or easy by just simply clicking on something. That's more troubling. Because social media just don't work like this. If you make something public, you upload a video, and it doesn't really mean that people will see it. If it was that easy, you know, and the younger generation, the so-called YouTube kids that what do you say? That go out and do videos like the latest performance of David Blaine revealed, and then they kind of reveal the secret and stuff. This is kind of annoying, and then it's yeah, basically kids using a technology and haven't learned the ethics and an ethical use of the technology they're using. They haven't learned that yet, basically, you know. And of course they are thinking then of being someone and being kind of successful or knowing things because they get a lot of feedback and they get a lot of attention and views by mainly people of the same age. Getting into this delusion of being successful or famous is kind of a problem, but still the people who watch David Blaine performance necessarily don't go to YouTube then and specifically look for this video. I don't think so.
I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but it's probably a bad idea to steal what I stole last night.
Okay, you guys are getting really into a discussion here. I go into this thing here. Where is it? Come on. Man, what is going on with me? Why isn't it... Ah, oh, dude.
OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe.
Why isn't chat here? Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. What the fuck? Oh,
OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe.
It's time to leave about it, but it's okay. There's a chat. I'm rolling myself another cigarette. So I'm reading this out. Here. Test person writes, Marlo does not really recommend the bottom deal for the arcane. Speed is not important, it is the rhythm. Yeah, absolutely true. Expert card technique recommends the clockwise motion of the pushing thumb. I didn't even know that it's an expert card technique, the second deal. Okay, then you're talking about stocks. Okay, this is then the combination what you can do with the second deal. Marlo had a nice approach to the performance of false deals. He writes about it in RCTS and Merlin too. Depends on the bottom deal and the time you have practiced it. Of course. I mean, the thing about this technique is that they if you mastered them, if you walk through this really long learning process of really getting this down, because it's really delicate, to be honest, you know. And you will find not so many performers really able to do it because you don't need it to become a cool magician, right? But if you master those techniques, you can do a lot of things with it. It enables you to do really beautiful card work, right? So test person, I'm seeing you for the first time here. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for getting so into it with insight and with some tips on literature. I appreciate it. How old are you? Where are you watching from? And what's your stats? You're a pro? You're a hobbyist? This is OTHMARIUS reaching out for test person. Test person, who are you? What is your name? Not your name, that's test person, not your name. But how old are you? What is your stats in magic? Why do you know so much about the art? Awesome, von Deutschland, aus Deutschland. Na dann herzlich willkommen. So Sapphire Shaik, I would just recommend one more time my tutorial on the classic pass. This might help you out. It's a whole series with 4 videos. Jeff Session Magic is 34 from West Virginia, US, hobbyist. Awesome. Jeff Session. Welcome. And for me, the distinction between a hobbyist and a professional is just like for me, it's not so much of a difference, except of course of the obvious fact that a professional is doing this for a living, which is a privilege, I believe. And some, for example, I'm a huge fan of here, dude. I made a whole video. Paul Weatherby, and he was born in a magician's family. His father was a magician, so he kind of naturally became a magician. It's quite a privilege, you know. And others like have to work their way up to there. And I believe this is really a tough decision to make at a certain point when you say, you know what, I make this a living. And there was a guy who did Julian's Magician School. He was basically telling a story of turning from a cameraman into a professional magician, and he tried to make an online course. I don't know how that went. I believe he hasn't uploaded anything on his channel for the longest time. But I watched a lot of his videos, and especially all the material he brought up about his journey becoming a professional magician pretty late in his life. Very exciting. Safir Shaik, what about Xavier Spade? I don't know. No, Xavier Spade is not the guy. I'm confused right now. I know Xavier Spade. He has been pushed by Chris Ramsey, right? Yes, absolutely. Yes, Marlo and Vernon. That these are very important addresses. Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. And I mean, like we live in such privileged times. I mean, we have so many learning resources, and we have these masters still alive, up and performing, and we have these, like you say, we have from Vernon to Marlo and so many others, books and videos and DVDs, and this is crazy. This is amazing. I'm really excited about this, because this is a beautiful time for magic, I believe. And once again, when an older generation is kind of skeptical, at least to say, about magic on YouTube, and so I don't really get it, because I mean, the reach of advertisement has never been that wide, and the whole, like the so-called YouTube kids. I mean, this is from a entrepreneur standpoint, this is a huge marketplace. These are all customers, you know. and whoever gets to them can make a ton of money. And I mean, look at Illusionists, or look at Dan and Dave. I mean, they literally became millionaires, and the projects they did. How insane is that? And that was much harder, I believe, in the days before the internet. And then also this thing, older magicians saying like the younger generation doesn't read books anymore. I mean, now I'm reading here the comments, and you're like talking about Vernon Marlowe and referring to books and showing profound knowledge about really in-depth things of the art form. Wow, you know, I don't get it when older magicians go like, oh, this generation is spoiled, and that's crazy. I don't get it, really. I really don't get it. Or there was this conflict with which made Chris Ramsey turn into riddles, become the master of riddles. And this is, by the way, something I was so confused emotionally. And which actually made me upset in a way, completely unjust. But Chris Ramsey got so many views with these riddles. I mean, this one video has over 6 million views, and you go like, how is this even possible? I would have never guessed that this would have found so much resonance, you know. It's good for the guy, But there was this thing, I don't. Paul Wilson was it, or somebody who trashed him on Twitter and saying, yeah, you stole something from me, you know, and came very aggressive at the guy. And then Chris Ramsey got a lot of feed, you know, revealing magic on YouTube and stuff. And I really don't get it. I mean, I get it if you feel. Because there's a lot of copycat, and there's people, you know, stealing things, and the whole theme about you know, rights, and so has become very complicated, you know. But for not only for magicians, for everybody. But here's the thing: like now, Chris Ramsey makes something. So why don't you reach out to the dude? And this. So if I'd say I'm an old-time player, okay, and I have some books out and I have some DVDs, and now somebody like Chris Ramsey makes a tutorial on a move on one of my DVDs. So I would write the guy an email and say, hey, you know what? This move I taught on my DVD, and actually I invented it and stuff. Let's say. Come on, at least give me a shout out. Or let's collab here. You know, I've got some other great material. You know, and then you can create a win-win situation. You know, and imagine you get with the views and with the fan base somebody like Chris Ramsey got. And if Chris Ramsey says this is a great book, this is going to boost your sales. You know, and so. I don't get these older magicians that are so stubborn and that are so fighting against this new technology and this new era of communication we already entered, you know. This is just my take on it. It's something I'm thinking about very often because also magic always has had this conflict. There was always copycats or magicians fighting, or people trying to debunk magicians. There has always been people who made a living out of revealing magic tricks and said this is nothing new. And actually, the art form of magic really evolves from something like this, and also it became popular as a performing art because people became more and more knowing about that it's trickery and understanding the workings behind it, and then being more able to appreciate the skill of the performer, you know, and even though. At a point where you would never believe it, in the 80s we had Uri Geller, or we had this other guy who claims to have supernatural powers, and people would fall for it, you know. So, and then you have James Randi or something like debunking people on television. You know, this is nothing new, and this was always part of the game, you know, and. So you guys going totally crazy in the chat here right now. So where are we at? Let's go here. Center me here. So you know what Leonard Green? Okay, what you got? Bartram as well. Okay, no. So we're in a state. We're in a to get some name dropping here. So we got Yuan Tamaris, Bertram, Danny Ortiz, Leonard Green, Jean Hugard. Yeah, of course, Ricky J. Yeah. The master Ricky J said that the internet made access to magic for so many more people so easy, and the percentage of people doing great magic has not much risen. Yes, of course. Of course not, because it's super difficult, and it takes in some cases a lifetime of devotion to become an amazing, outstanding performer. Are you kidding me? But the understanding of the audience that it's an art form, and the appreciation of the audience has risen absolutely. And from a marketing perspective, the market is booming. I mean, people are throwing products at the market like never before. So there's a lot of people, so much more people making serious money with magic like never before. So how can you complain about this? This is completely insane. So are you asking me, Safar Shaikh, what's your opinion on Darren Brown? Are you asking me, or are you in the chat? No, okay, you guys in the chat. But I answered the question anyways. And actually, I talked with a magic enthusiast just two days ago, drinking a nice rum. And we totally agreed on the fact that kind of Darren Brown for me kind of is walking on an ethical edge. As a matter of fact, I am sometimes thinking he's working with stooges, because I believe some of the things he's shown on television are from a legal standpoint critical, maybe. I mean, actually putting people into a traumatized situation. I don't know the back end and how if he's actually putting people into hypnosis and giving them a death experience or something. How is he treating the people after that? I don't know, but these are questions. I think sometimes some of the stuff Darren Brown did, I said, like, I actually don't like that. I don't like the experience he creates for the people he's working with. But he's worked his way there, and obviously he's really knowing what he's doing, and it's really exciting to see his works. But this whole spooky and scary and danger aspect he likes to play with, this is not honestly not my piece of cake. I really believe in magic as being something mainly to entertain people in a cheering and uplifting way, and not in a way pushing them or guiding them to the edges of their sanity. You know, it's something very delicate, and this is in general a problem I do have with all kinds of hypnosis, because easily the risk of becoming abusive towards your victim is very high, and I personally would never walk into a direction like this. However, I just saw, this is a series on Netflix, Magic for Humans, where the magician creates this situation, or creates this moment where he makes people believe they are invisible, and this actually I thought was very beautiful, because of two reasons. He's creating a very emotional, a very positively insane experience for this one person, which is enlightening to see for the audience. So he creates this this experience for everybody. Look how basically easily the human mind is deceived, you know, which is a good lesson to learn. But it's also at the same time very entertaining and hilariously funny, and also it's beautiful from the magician's point of view, because we all know, or one of the greatest secrets in magic is the to gain the understanding that the magic actually happens in the mind of the spectator. And this is not just a saying. This is just true, because this is how our psychology, how our cognitive apparatus works. Our brain is constructing reality out of a highly selective flow of data. You know, highly selecting out of huge mass of data coming at us, creating reality. And of course, this can be manipulated as much as you have experience and understanding of this process, of these processes. And this is very related to psychology, and this is very related to therapy, and so on. But from a magician's point of view, as understanding the art, magic as the art of staging tricks and illusions, to just, you know, switch the sides and not to have an audience see the illusion, but actually showing the illusion happening in the mind of a person. This is ingenious. I thought this was super beautiful. I mean, at the core of it, this is what generally or in general every hypnosis act basically shows. But in this specific performance, it was outstandingly beautiful. You know, when he draws the rope from the person, and the person is believing he was invisible. He is invisible. That was extremely powerful. I mean, this was showing really magic. This was showing what magic is. You know, this is magic. This guy is right now enchanted. You know, amazing. This blew my mind. Literally, I was so excited. Awesome. What a clever. What just absolutely awesome. So test person writes, Darren Brown went the hardcore way. I love him for being that hardcore. Never doing any magic after liking it so long. Okay. If you like hardcore, then it's just the right thing for you. Safa Shack writes, definitely either Stooges or hypnosis. Either way, ethics are off for sure. Well, not so much, you know. If it's Stooges, which I don't really believe, you know, because that's what's the fun in that. But then, what's unethical? You know, it's just like just like a horror movie or something, you know. It depends from what you advertise with your performance. If you advertise to only entertain, it's not nice. But if you advertise to deliver such an experience, it's great. It's the purest form of magic. Well, yeah, you can put it like this, and then you're absolutely right. You know, however, my definition of magic is very, very simple in a way of performing, staging tricks and staging tricks and illusions. On stage, with the audience knowing that it's trickery, and actually playing a role play, so inviting the audience to believe for that certain time that you have supernatural powers, you know, and then just giving them a blast of a time, which is definitely what Darren Brown is not doing when it comes to his television stuff, you know. I don't know, putting people in hypnosis and then having them experience the zombie apocalypse. Oh my god, man. Oh, good. These people never, I mean, you do not recover from an experience like this, do you? Stage hypnosis is very different from the therapy hypnosis. This shouldn't be confused. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I really don't know. I've never gone into this field. I'm really speaking more here than out into the blue, you know. It's just brainstorming. By the way, this is what I'm always saying here in this live stream series. All the things I say, don't take them as the last words or something, word or something. This is just my take on things, or just my actual thoughts. Pretty open, pretty improvised. Please just take this as an inspiration, or as an input for your own thought process, you know. I mean, there's no doubt about it that Darren Brown is a thrilling, absolutely thrilling entertainer, and an absolutely genius composer of settings. And he is in the Hall of Fame of Magic for all times now. He's really outstanding, you know. There's no doubt about that. Like, really crazy. Yeah, Saif Shaikh says a very Penn and Teller way of looking at magic. Maybe, yes, I think so. And I mean, they're pretty clear about it, right? So and they always did it like this, and also their show Fool Us. There's no doubt about it. You know, they basically just copy and pasted this format of some country is looking for the next talent or something. We got it all for music, for a show, into the field of magic very cleverly. And although there are some things that can be criticized on the show concept, but they're at the end of the day, they are just giving a platform for many talented magicians, gaining a wider reach, becoming more popular. Great, absolutely great, you know. Zafar Shaikh writes, when Penn and Teller flipped out on David Blaine for cultivating an audience who want to see people get hurt, they totally pissed me off. Okay, did they do that? I don't know. I don't know. Why would they say this? David Blaine didn't cultivate an audience who want to see people get hurt? You mean because he froze himself, or he tried to stay breathless well at times? I don't know. Now, here from the comments, you just write. I mean, like, the thing is about that when it comes to performances like we just talked about, you know, what Darren Brown is doing, or David Blaine is doing, when we're talking about mentalism and hypnosis, this is from the level of trickery, or from the design, from the structure. It's always a blend of different methods and techniques, you know. And the cool thing about it is that the people design the tricks like this and there's a rule, and every reasonable performer will follow. You know, do not take a risk to hurt yourself. You know, so. So did David Blaine really shoot himself, or was this just a performance stunt? I don't know. I never looked really into this. I'm not so much interested, but you can ask, or you can raise the question, you know, because we are talking about professional magicians who are trained in manipulating perspective and judgment of people, because this is what we do, right? This is at the core of the art form, and so you know. And of course, it's a business with a lot of money in there. So, and I believe if you are a performer like David Blaine, and you walked this way he walked, you took this this direction, you come into this you get this problem that your stunts have to be more dangerous and more. More dangerous and more sensational with every step you do. So at a certain point, you run out of material, don't you? And then you push the limits, and eventually you drown, right? Or you just fake shit to stay in the news, you know, to stay up and running. You know, just saying, you never know, you know. But here on the other side, this is this is show business. This is the show business, and there is people out there using the skills we basically learn when it comes to magic in a much more unethical way, right? I mean, like all these frauds, priests, fortune tellers, wonder healers, you know. So, and yeah. Hallo. Guys, my mother just tuned in. Hallo liebe Mutter, schön, dass du zuschaust. Ich bin hier schon, ich überziehe hier schon die Show total lange und wir reden gerade über große Zauberkünstler und die moralischen Implikationen von gefährlichen Darbietungen. Sowohl für die Zuschauer als auch für die Performer selber. Ich freue mich, dass ihr zuguckt. Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Schön. Hammer. Ich hab dich lieb. Ich mach Fernsehen. Guys, I just spoke German because my mother tuned in, watching with a friend of hers, and I just gave her a brief review on the topic we're talking about. Which right now I think is super. Again, it's like I'm so hyped. I'm so excited about this technology that we are like getting into subject like this. You know, here I'm not even practicing anymore. Now, yes, Safir Shaik says, personally, I think Penn and Teller just jealous because David Blaine had guts to actually catch a freaking bullet in his face, and Penn and Teller did a simple stage trick. No, he didn't catch a freaking bullet in his face. He didn't do that. Come on, get real. That's just not how it works, you know. And it is just the old trick, you know. It's just maybe performed a little more dangerous and something went wrong. If it went wrong, if it wasn't just an advertisement stunt. Yeah, so get real, you know. You can't catch a bullet with your teeth. That is impossible. It's also impossible to bend spoons with your mind, and it's also impossible to speak with the ghosts of dead relatives. All these are claims, and if they are made out of the context of being a performance of trickery, this is called fraud, and that's abuse of your audience, and it's unethical and wrong. Yeah, guys. So here we are. We're doing this now for freaking 2 hours and 24 minutes. This is the longest live stream. We got into a very exciting subject. I thank you so much, guys, for waking me up. Do your thing. That was the topic of today. Be true to yourself and take the journey of becoming a magician as the journey of finding the magician in yourself. You know? Who do you want to be as a magician? What's the character? What's the persona? And that's the beautiful thing about it. And don't fall for impossible claims, you know, miracles and wonders. This is something you sell for the stupid people. But we are performers of a performing art. We are artists, and our job is to entertain people by creating illusions and telling stupid jokes. So, sorry for check. I just opened my mind to something I didn't even think about before, about the bullet catch. But you never thought about it, that it's just fake, or a claim. I did not cross my mind that he didn't actually catch the bullet. No, of course it's not. You cannot catch a bullet with a bullet is. You know what a bullet is? A bullet of a gun is something with a lot of energy in it, you know. And when a bullet is shot at you and it hits you, your head blows. You know, you will die. That's what a bullet is for. That's what you make a gun for. To make an explosion and put the energy into a small iron object and throw it at people. So that when it hits, the skull cracks open, the brain gets smashed, you know, organs get ripped off. That's made for killing things. So you can't catch it. Okay? Very easy. So so that's why it's, you know, the trick. Okay? Although you can shoot small people with a cannon. which is a circus act which probably today would be getting a ton of a shitstorm by the social justice army, you know? Welcome to our circus. Today we shoot 3 midgets out of a cannon. OTHMARIUS, what source do you study for further card nagging and magic? Actually, right now I'm super full with the material I got. So I actually I'm not studying right now. I'm practicing. And also, I don't want to know it all, you know. I'm at a point where I'm very selective about the things that I learn. I also want to get away a little bit from the cards. I have a beautiful cups and balls set here, which still needs a lot of working, you know. And I just got started with the Ninja Plus rings by Matthew Garrett. And also I'm working on a jumbo con routine. So I'm just actually practicing and studying in that sense, you know. And then the next real step is to get with these routines more to performing, you know. And what sources did I study? From literature, I walked through the whole Royal Road to Card Magic. I expert at the card table, then expert card technique, then Aaron Fisher's paper engine, then a certain repertoire of tricks, packet tricks, and lecture DVDs. Very famous Card Under Glass by Doc Ethan, or Leonard Green's DVD set. Stuff like that. And actually, with the sources I've just mentioned, you've got a ton of material. And then once in a while, I see something. For example, just. How I roll. Again, I forgot the name. My God. I was saying like Stephen Bridges. Stephen Bridges just showed a street magic video where he didn't show any street magic because it started raining. It was a very lovely video, but he started it with a close-up sleight of hand performance, a multiple coin production, you know, a rain of coins, or poker chips. Super beautiful, and I never saw this move before. Like, what is that? What kind of move is that? So, but I wasn't really curious. I wasn't curious enough because there's so much material on my table. And then I read the comments, and somebody gave the reference in the comments. So I found this quite something old by a guy called Sylvester. And it's, I don't know, the Sylvester move or whatever, and so I made a spontaneous purchase decision. This thing came out in the 80s, I don't know, as a tape. And actually, I found in the forum somebody asking, "Do they already have it on DVD?" Because I don't know how to play tape. But they made a, I don't know, an anniversary edition on DVD, and I found some small shop selling it online. So I purchased it, and now I'm very curious about learning the specific move, whatever. It's kind of a vanish something, and I hope I'm not going to be pissed because sometimes you buy something and then you realize it's a variation of something you actually read and that's actually already there in Bobo's Coin Magic, and you could have kind of worked it out yourself, you know. But anyways, you know, I'm at a point where I'm very selective, and sometimes something strikes me, and I say, this actually, I love it. I would love to do it. I have a rough idea how it works. I'd love to hear the teachings or the specific insights of the guy who came up with it, or who featured it, or who mastered it in a way nobody else did. And then I put it on my list, and maybe I will buy it one day, and then I will look at it and make a decision if I actually want to start practicing it, because you know, it takes a lot of time always, you know. Yeah, Stars of Magic, of course. Yeah, of course. But there's no point in reading the whole tarbell. You know, this is more of a encyclopedia. You know, if you want to get the source straight, or if you want to look something up and go in there. Wow, what happened? So we got, I don't know, 2 hours and 30 minutes, and 5 people currently watching. Wow, we had a great session, great night, amazing. I wonder if my mother is still around. Mama, bist du noch am gucken oder habt ihr schon ausgeschaltet? Hm? And also, you know, this is this with the references. Of course, it's interesting to know and figure out where some stuff comes from, and there are absolutely times where you have to give reference. You know, for example, like when you bring out a product or something. But I don't think you have to reference. You know, for example, because that is also I saw in a Stephen Bridges video. So he performed some card magic. Some Garcia stuff for 2 dudes, and absolutely brilliant. And then you go in the comments, and usually on YouTube this is somebody makes a statement or a claim or says certain something or a certain roast, and then you have all these people who just repeat the same thing. You know, it's completely annoying. I don't know why that is. So somebody said, "Oh, you did not give reference to Garcia, although you're performing his thing." And it's like no, why should he? You know, he bought the product, he put it, he learned it, and he performed it to some people. Now he doesn't have to. You don't have to go there and say, "My name is Stephen Bridges, and now I perform this and that from this and that." You know, that's from a layman's perspective. It makes no sense, and you know, it's doing a good. Of course, if being asked where do you get this from, and then you can make a choice if you want to promote the guy you got it from, you know, to have other people buying the product. So be smart and say, "Oh, fuck off, I'm not gonna tell you where I got this from," you know, because I want to keep it. At least in regards to you asking or something. I don't really get it. And then you had this in this video. You had all these comments, like people starting, you know, giving ranting the dude for not making references. I was like, I don't know, you know, how are you from? And now this move comes from here, and this is I'm performing a variation or what? This is not science. This is performing. performing something, yeah. Ja, genau, also Testperson, warum eigentlich kein Strike-Second-Deal, der ist am Anfang leichter, nur schwer. Ja, das ist genau wieder so die Sache. Völlig ausreichend. Ne? Und wenn du irgendwie eine oder zwei Sachen machen möchtest, wo du einen Second-Deal brauchst, irgendwie, dann packst du den drauf viel leichter und dann ziehst du es damit durch. Und aus der Zuschauerperspektive macht das keinen Unterschied. Test person asks, why not a strike second deal? It's easier at the beginning. And I just replied, yeah, it's just the same thing. You know, why would you go through the hassle for the pushover if you can have it easier from a layman's perspective? It's not a difference. That you might just have the ambition to do it, or you just want to show off a difficult skill to your magic buddies. You know, there's a different motivation to it. But when it just comes to performing, for laymen, you know, make it as easy as possible for yourself. That's I just can't repeat myself, you know, and make it easy for your audience to follow. You know, nobody cares about a complex, super difficult routine you think is the magician's fooler. You know, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares if you fool OTHMARIUS, you know. Yeah, now you're kind of with Jay Sankey saying that you admire the guy for his creations and for his teachings, but don't like his performance style. Yeah, no, what, you know, you can please everybody, you know. And it's beautiful. There's so many different performance styles, you know. And I don't even know, you know. Maybe someone like Jay Sankey, who's in the business for so long, who's come out with so much stuff, who's such a wide repertoire, who's so generous in sharing things, you know. He 100% has stuff he keeps for himself, and maybe he has a complete different performance persona and presentation he just doesn't present on YouTube, you know. So this is also an option, you know. Don't underestimate the format that YouTube is. It comes with the appearance of the people who do their videos are very natural and stuff, but actually being a YouTuber himself creates a performer, a persona that does not need to be necessarily 100% authentic. Just saying, you know. So Marius, are you a magician who aims to fool other magicians, or just laymen? I'm not aiming to fool people. I'm aiming to entertain people. And the illusion is just a means for entertainment. The concept I have about magic itself and what it means to become or to be a magician is not fully formed. So this is something I'm discovering yet myself. But I would say, for example, this is a little bit the problem I have with the show concept of Fool Us. Like, it's basically for me not about whether someone knows the trick or not, or whether somebody is fooled by the trick. It's about mastering to create the illusion and to make the illusion work. And for me, I don't care really much about knowing how it's done or not. And the point is, I sometimes even enjoy performances where I know exactly how it's done more than others, because I really can appreciate the skill level of the performer making the illusion look so seamlessly. It's so beautiful, you know. So going on stage with the premise to be judged whether two guys know how it's done or not is the wrong aim for me going on stage. And I believe it gives the wrong idea to the audience as well. And this is a problem I have with this whole concept of these casting shows. Because for me, it takes away it takes from the audience away the personal challenge to make their own judgment. So because it's always then the performer performs something and then he goes to the street dickheads and they now tell the world whether it was a good or bad performance for whatever reason. And I think this is just like, if you have some self-esteem, I mean, you don't do this. You're like, fuck, who are you to judge me, okay? If I want to be judged, I go to the magic circle or I go to my mentors, and I get a good treat, okay? But not in a performance situation. This is a problem I have with that. Of course, a lot of people do it because it reaches a lot of people and you can get a name for yourself and so on and so on. But the genuine premise is wrong. And as a matter of fact, I've seen something, and maybe it was in a Chinese or Japanese television show. Pretty much this show concept of Fool Us copied. So a performer does this act, and then the moderator, comes on stage, talks a little bit with the performer, and then walks to the jury. And there was a woman performing, and she was performing an absolutely fantastic set of close-up card magic with, I don't know, with stocks, so like completely shuffled deck, and you had 4 aces and completely lost in the deck, and at the end the audience shuffles the cards, and at the end you would have 4 piles and all the piles were in perfect order with the aces on top, something like this, some close-up sleight of hand base or with elements of sleight of hand routine. Brilliantly performed, entertaining, straight up to the point. Now she's a woman, and we all know we have women are underrepresented in our craft. So I thought it was really beautiful. Now the moderator comes with a man, and he's totally behaving like a dick. So he comes to this woman who just performed and takes her by the hand like a little girl. Now she walks like a little girl, the hand of the moderator to the jury who give her a jury. Now I got so pissed about this, because this just wrecked, totally demolished the reputation this woman just worked so hard for herself, and basically the moderator and the jury leveling this woman down by being judged. I don't like this concept so much. I was really angry about this. And especially in the art form of magic, your reputation as a magician is everything. That is your currency. So when you want to become famous or known, you have, and this is a long way, you have to build up a reputation, right? And now you've managed to come to television, and then you go into a show concept, or you go into a situation where basically random people judge you on whatever premise. And so you go there, you perform some great magic, and you got this reputation. And the next logical step would be saying thank you, going out, gaining that reputation you just won. But what you do instead is you go to the table and you give all to the chips to somebody else who judges you now, levels you down. It's fucking insane. And this really annoys me all the time when I see it, because it's it's basically it's auto aggressive, and that's why I can't. That's why I did not watch. That's why I don't watch Penn and Teller. This always makes me cringe, just because of that specific emotional aspect of it. And the only one I saw getting away with it was my memories. World champion of Magic, dude. Wait a second. Okay, I'm back. The only one who got the one I saw got away in this situation, pretty clean, pretty good. That was Jean Farquhar performing at Penn and Teller. Jean Farquhar. And it was this beautiful situation, and I remember this very well, and you guys maybe too, because a lot of people watch Penn and Teller. Jean Farquhar performed a revelation in a sealed deck, and this was beautifully played, and he had such authority that even Penn got into trouble, and they had this awkward moment where he said, "Oh, you know, I'm a professional. I should really doing better here," and took this really with humor. And so Jean Farquhar really stayed under control and kept the authority that he deserves and that he needs, and that he worked hard for his life and kept the reputation. That was really beautiful to see. But yeah, we're talking here about the world champion in Magic, who's seen it all. I wonder, you know. But for somebody who's, you know, young and unexperienced, you know, this can be damaging. I would even argue, you know, for the reputation. Because we live in a cruel world, and that behalf, new people coming at us all the time, and before you know it, you're gone and forgotten, long forgotten. Yeah, Shin Lim, of course. Shin Lim built himself a reputation. I mean, he's FISM winner, and his Dream Act is if you like the cheese, if you're into the cheesy stuff, which is very mainstream, of course, yeah, wonderful, you know. But I can't remember the reactions of Penn and Teller. Probably they were just like going, yeah, what are we talking about here, you know? I'm a huge fan of Shin Lim, by the way, and I laughed my ass off when Jabrizi made this video where he said he was better than Chris Ramsey and better than Shin Lim, and Shin Lim had the reaction video where he showed himself pretty triggered. That was super funny. That made me really laugh. So guys, talking like nerds, we got totally nerdy here right now. At least mind spectators are seldomly entertained knowing the technique, if it's not a demonstration. Yes, of course, the secret, don't get me wrong, the secret of course plays a role, not knowing how it gets, to be intrigued about how it works. No, of course, but it's not all, that there's more to it, yeah. And quite honest, there is a lot of people that think just because they know the secret, they know about the art, and there's a lot of folks out there who go like, boring, I know how it's done, and they can't appreciate the skill and the art of the performer because they're such idiots, to be quite frankly speaking. You know, it's like, yeah, I know how to play guitar. I know how to play chords and scales and Frank Zappa, boring because I know how to play guitar. You know, this is an idiot talking. You know, that's basically the same thing. For me at least. And also, there's one more thing I want to mention about the whole thing about manipulation and stuff in magic. And I just heard I got some folks here. I don't know how old are you guys. Somebody said he's 34, and there's a 19-year-old guy here and stuff. There's a lot of it's mainly male and a lot of teenagers involved and how you say excited about this, and this is a special group where they are in their process of growing into this world of becoming adults, in a very competitive, it's a very competitive group, a very delusional group, quite honestly, in a way of they're just getting started, and they usually tend to think they know it all, and a drama, of course, emotional justice, all these are themes, and people like Chris Ramsey, Jabrizi, and all these stars on the social media platform, they exactly know how to play these cards, you know. So when, for example, Chris Ramsey is sitting on grass somewhere in a park with dramatic music, talking about emotional things that he's not sure about, revealing magic on YouTube. This is well played. This is intentional. This is working towards the needs of the target group. Somebody who's really knowing what he's doing. And if Jabrizi goes out and saying, I'm better than Chris Ramsey, then he's also knowing what he's doing. I'm telling you this. Jabrizi doesn't give a fuck how good Chris Ramsey, or if he's good or not. But he cares about the drama. He cares about the attention. He cares about the stuff that's going on. Don't forget, there's not such thing than bad reputation, and it's basically playing good cop, bad cop. This on the larger scale, I know it's Uri Geller and James Randi did that. You know, this is an act. Okay, this is a performance. It's making money. This is how you make money. So when these guys go out, and it's a matter who's better, or who's faster, who knows the latest thing, what is the coolest way to make you a room, you know, what lights do you need, and what is the coolest deck, and that is all marketing for teenagers. Okay, just to be very clear here, YouTube is a money-making machine, and whoever makes it in YouTube is well off. You know, this comes with advertisement contracts, with product placement, with selling your own products. That's a big business. And this is also why older magicians are pretty pissed, because they don't get a piece of the cake, because they're having a hard time to get the feet into the door, because it works differently. It's a different way of it's wine in old. It's old wine. It's the same old wine, but in different bottles. You know. Just saying. Think about it. And if you're staying on YouTube, let's just take PewDiePie. Now he's playing his audience extremely well. For example, he's talking about the 9-year-old army. That's actually hilariously funny. And also Logan Paul and the Paul brothers. You know, this is entertainment for infants, for children from the age between 8 and 14, with a huge percentage of girls who are having a huge crush on the dude. And this is really a lot of ad revenue, you know. And all they have to do is constantly create drama, showing their nipples once in a while, and selling merch, you know. So don't get fooled by this. It's all just entertainment. It's not reality, you know. It's just making money with children. That's what's happening on YouTube. And as we all know, YouTube has its first premise is, of course, because it's a big company. It's making money, you know, creating ad revenue. So ethics and morals are, if at all, very down on the list. Okay. So I'm ordered the Mint 2. No, I didn't order the Mint 2. At the beginning of the year, I ordered I don't know, 24 decks of cards, just to pimp my little collection a little bit, and that's it. I have enough now. I will probably this year buy one more pack of tally-hos and bicycles, and that's it for me for the next 2 years. Because man, I have a list of magic, my list of magic that goes to the millions. You know, I need to be as rich as fuck to get to buy all the things I want to buy. And what good will they do? You know, it's just true. Most of us already have enough decks, already have enough tricks. Yet now it's a question: do you want to compensate? Whatever it is, you compensate by buying more stuff, or do you want to get the things you already have down at your fingertips and start performing? That's the main question, you know. Matthew Foreman is the worst. Testperson sagt das. Why would you say something like this? It's crazy. I know he looks a little bit like he has this psychopath smile always, but this guy is performing for years, for real people, for real celebrities, and most like many others, very famous YouTubers. He's actually got really a lot of actual performances out there, you know? So if you say Michael Fuhrman is the worst, well, think again. But it just proves, you know, that that YouTube is basically a huge kindergarten, you know? And that someone like Matthew Fuhrman needs to adapt, and he knows what he's doing, because his channel has got 50,000 now, and I'm longer. Now he's really long on YouTube already, but he just started to really work on it for a short time. I guess I would need to check this really out. No, maybe I'm just talking bullshit, but yeah. Yeah, terrible cringy. Yeah, this might appear for you. I mean, for you know how cringy Chris Ramsey is for well-stood, time-tested, grown-up performers. See it from the other side, you know. As I said again. It's a matter of your audience, you know. Like if like kind of a posh, fancy hipster, super cool dude goes to some badass cocaine Hollywood phonies who doing showbiz for the longest time, you know. That's a different reference point, okay? And then you got this guy who's going like, it's a hot one coming at you, you know? No, what I love about it is that right now you can see this, all these different types and all these different peer groups targeted, and all these different characters, and these are also different, you know, generations, you know, and I'm really the guy who says, okay, let's bring this all together, you know, let's create win-win situations, you know. There's no reason in you know, going like, well, this old magician, you know, it sucks and stuff, and we're the new cool kids. But it's no point, you know. I think you know, bringing these things together, that's the actual fun part now, and it's happening. It's already happening. So, well, I don't know. Matthew Fuhrman definitely has, you say this, it's very confident, you know, and I think he can be, he should be, and he well deserves it. And I would take someone with a confidence like this, with saying so reasonable things and with actually showing real performances, you know, on a high frequency, you know, more seriously, more as a guideline than any poser who makes hundreds of thousands subscribers on YouTube. Okay, that's how it's just me saying. It's just, you know, but of course, again, there's different generations, different approaches, and there is no right or wrong, really, you know. So Safir Shaikh writes, another thing about YouTube in general, people need to start thinking for themselves and then analyzing the good and bad in certain things and stop being influenced by famous YouTube opinions. Well, true. I'm absolutely pro people learning to make their own judgments, you know, based on facts and rational thinking, instead of following leaders, which they today call influencers, which I hate this word. This is you know, but we are all influenced on the platform by the algorithm, by the AI. Okay, that's our goddess. Okay, and we have to obey. I rather think that everyone tries to grab a quick buck and teach anything instead of being really well educated and teaching it, as person writes. Yeah. Look, and also this is nothing new. I talked about that there is a certain type of magical enthusiasts who I call trick collectors. So it's people, they don't really have, don't really attempt to go to stage, to become performers themselves, but I really enjoy buying magic products and getting behind the secrets of the tricks, you know, playing with the props, you know. Very cool. Why not? There's nothing wrong in it. So this is this has always been there. And it's part of our nature, I believe, to be curious as human beings. So this is one reason why all these videos, they say magic trick revealed, secret revealed, are successful on YouTube, because people want to know. And then you have these videos, one card trick after another, one card after another, one card trick after another, and people are not actually learning the art form, and they're not even learning the tricks. Actually, they're just enjoying the moment of learning a secret, you know, of satisfying their curiosity. That's it, and then they're done, and they go to somewhere, some other place, just feeling a little bit better about themselves. And because a lot of people click there and go there, these videos get high ranked on by the algorithm, you know, and get even more views, drive even more views. Now, here comes somebody like me, okay, and I'm saying, like, it's not easy. It takes years of practice, you know, and most likely you're gonna not prevail. It doesn't matter, because you're young and life is a crazy journey. Okay, that's not famous. Okay, it's famous to say 3 three ways to become amazing in 5 seconds. That's what people click, and then some good-looking young cheesy guy tells you brush your teeth, be kind to people, and pray in the evening, something like this. There you go, million of views. You know. Here goes a dude and says, you know, building a character, becoming a decent human being is a lifelong journey. It's very hard with a lot of disappointments, okay? And we start by breathing. It's not going to get... although he's the one who's right, and he's one guiding, pointing out the right direction, he will not get the views on YouTube. You know, that's just a fact of life. Because that's what mainstream means, okay? Mainstream means people... following the easy road, okay? The highway to hell, you know? Because people are lazy. And also, the industry we live in today educates people in a manner, saying you can get everything for almost for free or for no money, for just little, everything for little money, customized to your needs right now with just one click. This is what the internet tells the people. That's what Amazon is all about, okay? You want something, you get it, you click, and you get it just the way you want it, and it's there in no time, coming with a phone drying to your thing, you know? Next level of Amazon is going to be robots who unpack your package for you, you know? Because... And it's going to be a curiosity of the history of entertainment, these unboxing videos of YouTube. And real life is not like this. Life is not like this, okay? You do not get things for free, and you do not get things easy, and you do not get things just by clicking. And I mean serious things. I mean real things, okay? I mean things like character, like skill, like understanding, like knowledge. You know, that shit doesn't come easy, you know, and you have to work on it constantly. And also you gotta be lucky, find good teachers. I'm preaching again, everybody. What time we got? Jesus, I'm losing my shit here. 3 hours. It's oh man, this is amazing. Wow. This is amazing. I wonder what's gonna happen, you know. It's gonna at one point I'm gonna have a whole series. I have hours of hours freely talking, inspired by you guys, answering your questions, or discussing with you guys, and probably I'm gonna talk in the battle a lot of bullshit too. This must backfire at one point in my career. I wonder. Are you having a great time? I've got 6 people currently viewing, the analytics telling me. Are you up and running? How are you doing? I'm done here. I'm almost done. Did you see how my hands loosen up? I don't know. I was so stuck with my muscles were so clumsy. Now it feels so much better. That's crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah, Michael Vincent, that's also a name, man. Oh man, this guy is amazing. Oh man, it is so amazing. Yes, of course. Yeah, cool, nice. I go to, because so where can you see? Here are we. A good approach, at least to magic, is from Michael Vincent and his courses. So Michael Vincent, yeah, I love the guy. It's so awesome. But most of the things you talk about is gained by living and just working stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's true. No, I'm not performing now anything here because I'm becoming completely exhausted. I'm working. I'm just working here on this routine, on this fault shuffling routine all the time. But if you want to see some of my performances, I have a playlist of all the performances I uploaded. Some of them are really crappy because I'm having a hard time balancing having a hard time, was watching into the wrong camera, having a hard time balancing the right amount of chit chat. And I believe storytelling is really important. It's part of my persona. As you can see, as you see, I'm talking for 3 hours straight, and I'm still not. I still can go on, you know. So and I need to balance this. And I have some performance out there where I'm just talking way too much. But there's some other performance where the balance is pretty alright. And also you can see how I was on the way or on the run earlier in my life. No, Safir Shaikh. No, I like Chris Ramsey. No. Don't get me wrong. Or let me put it like this. When it comes to judging other performers in our behalf, I'm very open. You know, first of all, I do respect every kind of approach, and when people are successful, I appreciate it. And I'm not a jealous guy in that behalf. You know, I'm actually curious and see what's going down, and what is the person doing right? What are the strategies, and so on and so on. Yeah, you know, that's basically it. No. I don't dislike Chris Ramsey. I don't dislike Chris Angel. I don't dislike Jabrizi. I don't dislike anybody who's doing something artistic. You know, this is just crazy. There are of course performance styles or performers or careers I admire more than others. You know. But to frankly speaking, I view Chris Ramsey when I watch his videos more on the aspect of looking at how he's working, what he's doing here, what strategies he's following, because he's not communicating. There's no value for me in it except of appreciating a colleague or an artist and somebody making a career and doing obviously things right and building something up. So that's my interest, but I'm not in the target group of Chris Ramsey. Although, and this is a good thing, he sometimes really managed to also hit my interest really on the level of admiring and appreciating what comes up. But that's not happening most of the time, you know. So I'm really looking into another direction, you know. So I'm very interested, for example, in Matthew Foreman and how he's building the channel and what he's doing, and I'm looking very closely at these performances because they speak so much, they show so much experience, you know, and as a magician, you know, and not as somebody who happened to be successful on YouTube or who's in a certain way trendy now, you know. But there, for me, when I discovered Matthew Foreman, it was like, wow, man, this guy's really doing this for a long time, obviously, and now he's getting to YouTube, and it's interesting to see, and there's value for me because I'm interested. How does a professional magician work? Where does he come from? What's the choices of repertoire? What is he performing in what situations? How does he react, and so on? So I study the work more. You know, this is more interesting to me right now, and that's what I'm looking. You know, looking for. So when I find a performer or a performance of a magician, and especially live performance, sometimes I watch these videos 3 or 4 times, and I'm analyzing the reactions, the timing, and so on and so on. That's what I'm interested in because that's what I want to learn. Okay, and there are no tutorials out there on YouTube, obviously, you know, because that's stuff that's such sophisticated stuff. You have to become a student of a master or of a really outstanding or a working performer, yeah. So test person asked me, one problem with your way of seeing things is when is someone ready and wise enough? After what lifespan? For what? For what ready or wise enough? I don't understand the question. You're always, you know, the truth about it is, it doesn't matter how much you progress, you're always gonna be a stupid cunt. I'm sorry to put it like that, but the more you know about things, you know, the more you know what you don't know. It's just a fact of life, you know. And again, this is something, this is not trendy, you know. You know, there's no definites, there's no definite truth. There's things working for a certain period until they don't work anymore. And then you gotta you start all over again. It is always, you mentioned that it takes time and work in life. It's always, it depends always on where you're at right now, where your focus lies, and how clear your objectives are, how focused you are on your objectives, and you know, there is this type of people that seemingly always knew what they wanted to be or what they wanted to do, and from a very early age on, they're very devoted to the goal of becoming an outstanding performer or a doctor or whatever, and then they just went for it, and I went through all the practices also, and these people always gave me the creeps because I started so many things and finished only a few, you know. I tried so many things out. I was never sure about myself and what I wanted to be and where I want to go, and so it just went with the flow, and just learned on a different, you know, in a different way, how to put it, than just walking straight forward, conquering your goal. So it really always depends. And again, there's no right or wrong. And life is I always take life as a journey. And whatever it is you do, try to get it into your life. You know, try to integrate it into everything, because that's what you are. You are everything, you know. You are a complete, unique entity and universe. And that's a beautiful thing. It's never too late to start something, you know. If you have if you're setting realistic goals, you know. You probably, when you start with magic, because there's the question, when did you start with magic? Pretty late in my like, I'm always saying right now, roughly 10 years or something, depending on where you set, where you put the clock. So in my early 30s, so really late, you know, really late for something, and it's just a point where you say, I'm not going to you know, be a FISM winner, or I'm going to be world champion of magic, or I'm going to be next David Copperfield, you know. That would be delusional, you know. So the goal is a different one, but it's never too late, and you can even start, you can be you know, 80 and start something new with a realistic goal set, you know. And I believe the older you get, the more realistic you become about, or the more consciousness you become about why you're actually doing the things you're doing. And hopefully you realize more and more that there's really worth in doing things just for the pleasure and for the understanding and for building up yourself, for building yourself, instead of making money or becoming famous or you know, setting a world record. And I found magic. So Safar Shaikh, I answered your question. When I started magic, how did I find magic? I found it through a live performance in a bar in my favorite pub right around the corner, and a friend of mine who sells lavendine, a flower on the markets here, he brought a magician in from the market fair, and the guy would perform a close-up set and completely blew my mind. And so I asked the guy if he would care to show me something, and then he said, why would I want to do this? And I said, I don't know, I just don't know. And then he invited me to his place, and then he showed me some things, and I was completely blown away and super fascinated. And then it happened that this guy lost his place and he needed a place to stay, and I had place by the time, and I said, no problem, you can stay for a couple of months, or I don't know how long it was, and gave him a place to sleep. And then I had this privilege to live in one flat with a professional working magician, street magician, you know, who would go out every day to hit the tables and stuff, and then he would show me things, and I would learn from basically looking and having him coming home and telling me his stories. And I got so hyped and so excited, and then the next strong impulse or impact was that cards are kind of a meditation for me. So when I'm with cards, I'm feeling better. This really gets me down and gets me focused. So I fell in love with cards. I fell in love with the art form, and also a lot of things I did before kind of find their place or are easily embedded in the art form of performing stage tricks and illusions on stage. And then I kind of, you know, found a passion very late, and I just do it now. And hopefully I will not drop out like I did so many times in my life, where I said, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore, and then I just walked away from it. I did it with music, I did it with writing. But I performed a live writing show, a live show where I would write live stories and read short stories for 6 years, every first Wednesday in a pub. And after 6 years, I just stood up and said, I don't come back and I don't write anymore. Have a great day, everybody. Yeah, it's not, but it was not a wrong decision. Yeah, why cards and why not higher goals? I don't know why cards. I can't just really tell you. I don't really know. I don't know. It's magic. Shooting, why not higher goals? Shooting at the sun will make at least hit the moon in worst case. Yeah, but then you're going to sit on the moon and you're going to be sad about your sorry ass because your goal was reaching the sun, right? And not the fucking moon. So, but of course, you know, there's a motivation, and when you're young, especially when you're young, you said you're 19 years old, man. Of course, aim for the stars, aim for the moon, go crazy, because you have a lot of time ahead, and go for it, absolutely. But with a realistic goal comes the responsibility to really set a schedule. And to really break it down into workable fragments, and then you start working in, you know. And if you are aiming for the stars, it's very easy, or the temptation is very big, to lie on your bed all day and dream about it, you know, and not do shit. So, of course, have a vision and have a great goal, have a crazy goal. Which keeps you motivated and which can be a huge motivation, but the way there, set realistic goals, you know, and because it's steps and 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 steps. Like me tonight for 3 hours here practicing this thing for a video, which is probably gonna bomb on YouTube. And it's just gonna have 170 views, and I practiced 45 months. So guys, the music is off. We have 5 people viewing. We did this now for freaking 3.5 hours. I'm exhausted. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was a blast of a time, really, especially after this week with so much negativity and hate and violence on the street, and insane people doing insane and impossible things, not like we magicians do, but like frustrated evil fucks do. I am super excited about your passion, about your drive. Great chat. We talked about a lot of topics and subjects. Magic is a great, beautiful way of spending lifetime and being creative. So thank you so much for this, and make sure to hit a subscribe button and notification bell so that you are notified, because this is YouTube, you know. Just being subscriber is not enough anymore. When we do this again, I don't set it. I don't set it now. I don't know when it's gonna be. But on a regular basis, and also then very soon there's going to be the contest results for the deck giveaway that's running right now. Once again, there are the info cards, and if you want to watch some other live streams right now or later on, there's a link. There's also a poll, a very nice link to the vanishing card, the blank fan card trick, and also to the subscribers deck giveaway, where I'm going totally crazy at the pool, teleporting myself from one side of a pool to another side of the pool. This was super fun to edit, by the way. So, really unique story. Sapphire Shy Grass. Yeah, not so much, you know, or maybe, I don't know. Cards coming down, can perform miracles with, bring joy to people with, and connect people. Absolutely. I mean, and this is really a lot, you know. It's maybe the only thing that's does more for people. That's even more magical than magic. That's music, maybe, you know. So, test person, our 52 assistants. Absolutely. Thanks, Mario. Is gonna check out your past project next. This was one of the best live streams I was ever part of. This is going to be my next thumbnail, okay? Is that okay with you? I'm going to say, this was one of the best live streams I ever part of. Very nice. Awesome. We're doing this again. And what do you say to my background here with the cows? Because you know, I'm so desperate with my thumbnails. I don't know. I just say to the video, do your thing. And then I saw this cow picture and I said, hey, moo your thing. Completely block of bananas. Absolutely no reason for this, you know. And then I designed this beautiful motion background with cows. Isn't that crazy? So I don't know what's the topic for next live stream. Okay. My name is OTHMARIUS, and this is just what I do. Thank you so much for tuning in. Smash the like button. And be sure, more magical stuff is going to be uploaded very soon. OTHMARIUS Magic. Like and subscribe. I have to work on this. Good night. Thank you so much.